Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into a way of teaching that's been around for thousands of years, one that turns big, abstract ideas into real, practical lessons for life. Let's get right into it. You know, we've all been there, right? You're at a crossroads, you've got a choice to make, and the right thing to do just isn't obvious. It's a totally human feeling, and for ages, ancient wisdom has actually offered a kind of map to help us navigate these moments. And this map, this guide we're going to explore, is all built around one really powerful idea. It's not some rigid rule book. It's more like a personal quest, a journey to find your own unique path. And that idea is called Dharma. The best way to think about it is like your own personal true north. It's not just about rules, not at all. It's about lining up your actions with who you truly are, with your purpose and your duty to the world. It's really the heart of what it means to live a good, meaningful life. Okay, so that sounds great, but here's the big question, right? How do you take a massive concept like a righteous path and make it something you can actually use day to day? How do you feel it in your gut when you're facing a tough call? Well, the answer, it turns out, is as old as humanity itself, and you won't find it in some dry textbook. You find it in wisdom's most ancient and honestly most powerful messenger, the story. And just think about that for a second. It's so true. Before we had law books, before we had dense philosophy, we had stories. And why is that? It's because stories don't just talk to our brains, they go straight for the heart. They embed wisdom in us in a way that plain old facts and figures just can't. So how does this actually work? Well, in ancient Indian epics, they use three basic types of stories. Think of them as three kinds of characters to show us the different ways a person can follow their Dharma. First up, you've got the Rishis, the wise sages. Their stories show us the path of wisdom. For them, Dharma is all about deep understanding, about thinking things through. This is the path of the strategist or the scientist, someone who knows that real clarity comes from insight. Then you have the kings. Their stories light up the path of duty. For them, Dharma is about taking action, it's about responsibility, and it's about leadership for the good of everyone. You could see this as the path of a parent, a community leader, or anyone who steps up for their team. And third, we have the devotees. They walk the path of faith. Their stories are all about the power of belief and trust, especially when things get really, really tough. This is the path of the artist, the dreamer, the innovator. It shows us how a strong belief in something bigger can guide you through almost anything. But here's the secret sauce. These stories aren't just about perfect people doing everything right. No way. Their real power comes from the moment of choice, those critical turning points where a person's real character is built. And this is what makes it all click. By showing us characters who are facing dilemmas we might actually recognize, these stories make Dharma come alive. It stops being some abstract rule and becomes this living, breathing struggle that we can connect with, and, this is the most important part, that we can remember. I mean, think about how it works in any good story. A character faces a really tough spot. They have to stop and think about their values, their duty, their dharma. Then they have to make a choice. And it's in making that choice and dealing with what comes next that they truly grow. We get to watch them struggle. And by doing that, it's like we're practicing for our own moments of choice. Okay, so we're talking about ancient legends and epic turning points. But what does that have to do with us in our modern lives? How do we actually bring all this wisdom home? It's actually incredibly practical. When we get into these stories, we start to build a really clear picture of what it means to live with purpose. We see values in action, not just as words. This gives us a framework, those paths of wisdom, duty, and faith, to use in our own lives. Plus, it connects us to our history in a way that feels powerful, and honestly, it just makes learning way more fun. At the end of the day, this is why this method has lasted for thousands of years. You might forget a rule someone told you, but you'll never forget a story that truly moved you. Because when wisdom gets to you through your heart, it's not just something you've learned. It becomes a part of who you are. So as we wrap this up, just think about this. Every single day, you are the main character in your own story. You face dilemmas, you make choices, and you grow. So the real question is, in this next chapter of your life, what is your Dharma calling you to do?